How you doing, Eric?
Fantastic. How are we doing today, guys?
Oh,
Good,
very well,
good.
very well.
What
Wonderful.
is what is your mug? I judge
Oh,
people based upon what good, very good. I
this
approve.
this has been through 230 interviews. This is my
Um
Hell
in
yeah.
blue mug.
I did a gig a couple months ago. It's a cute little religious show on the internet called Studio 316. And I'm big into dad jokes. And I got the host, I made a mug that said Chevin's holy water. He boiled the hell out of it. And he had been holding it for 3 weeks, and he goes, I just now got you boil the hell out of it. So therefore, it is holy water. Not that the temperature is very.
Shane, if you're capable of getting a dad joke that will make me go, "Ah." So that's like bravo. That
Okay.
hasn't happened to me in years. So good
Okay.
job.
I got one more ultimate dad joke, and then Eric, I will give you permission to start conducting the interview.
I appreciate.
Um, my favorite dad joke, because it kind of takes people a second to get it, is why do you never see elephants hiding in trees?
Why?
Because they're so good at it.
There you go. It's like you've never seen Kermit and Yoda in the same room. No,
No,
Kermit, no,
no.
Miss Piggy and Yoda in the same room. I've never heard them talk to each other.
Same voice, same voice.
All right, guys, thank you for joining me. Let's get right into it. We're talking about
Oh, yeah.
Hacked, a double entendre uh, of revenge and fantasy and
No, no, good,
butchering the
good. Keep
name.
going. You're killing it. You're killing it.
You know, that's what I love about this film is that it is so self-aware. It is so much fun. It's so exuberant that you can start saying the name and then just keep going and put
Yeah.
as many adjectives and adverbs in as you want, and you're still in the spirit of the film. It's Shane, I know this comes from a place of personal loss, but you just embraced that and made something so joyous in a very sick way. Tell
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
tell me about turning this tragedy into triumph.
Um, to be quite honest, it was like month 8 of my wife Emily and I dealing with the oversimplification of what we were going through was us going, okay, so we had the money stolen, we know who it is, we have the police reports, we have literally all of the document. What is the problem here? And everyone's response was like, kind of sucks, right? And
A
and
valuable
it,
lesson.
yeah, right. It was chemically changing who I was as a person, and I didn't like that. I'm a very happy person. I'm an optimist, and I was not that for a while. And my wife and I turned to each other, and I was like, "Can we take the worst thing that has happened to us and make it a good thing? Can we do that?" And that was like the little spark of, all right, maybe we can make a movie where if we feel this way, maybe a bunch of other people feel this way, and we can get a whole army of people who have felt cheated, deceived, the American dream is dead, whatever, whatever. And let's just make it fun, man. Like let's really, really try. That was kind of the impetus to it all.
Yeah. And I love that the costume design, I mean, the costume theme for the film is Underoath apparel.
Yep.
Like, didn't
Yep.
even hide it, didn't bury the lead at all.
Yep.
Thought that was fantastic. Chris, I know you worked with Shane on Breathing Happy.
Yeah.
And I looked over the cast of Breathing Happy. You, Shane, you get a family and you keep it. And I love that. So Chris, tell me about coming aboard this project.
Yeah, so Shane and I connected during the process of Breathing Happy, and that creative collaboration and just personal collaboration honestly was just so refreshing and odd and cool. And it was really me, Shane, and our friend Matthew working on all of the sound stuff together. And it was just an immediate for me, like, oh, well, these are these are people that I just want to continue to work with. Whenever anything's happening, like I'm on board. And I remember, not funny enough, but interestingly enough, there were talks of, after Breathing Happy, it's like, oh, okay, I've got this idea, I've got that idea, and then all of this stuff happened with Shane and Emily, and then I just heard a rumbling of, hey, I think that I'm gonna pivot and we're gonna make this other thing about all this crazy stuff that just happened to us. And I was just like, dude, I'm on board. Like, let's roll. And unfortunately, long story short, there were scheduling things to where because I was initially supposed to be scoring this film. There were some scheduling things that came up that made it impossible, which was a bummer. And Shane was super cool about that, but it was literally just like okay, like, if you're not able to score it, like, can we use some Underoath music? And there had been talk about doing that anyway. And still being able to be involved on that level was really, really cool. And seeing the finished product, because I was not scoring it, I was not in the trenches on the edits and all of that stuff. So the first full edit that I saw was really close to what the end edit ended up being. And I was just like, oh damn, like we went all in like that. It was really, really cool. And we were actually, Underoath was on tour, and we came through Texas where Shane and Emily were, and they were like, hey, we've got this idea, can we just come and film at the show? And I was just like, yeah, sure. And ended up filming this stuff in the back of our bus, and some of it ended up in the film. And it really is one of those things where you've got friends making cool stuff, and you're just like, hey, like I want to help make cool stuff along with you. And the fact that this whole thing turned out as cool as it did, I'm yeah, super, super pumped on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a really uncomfortable conversation for Chris to have to call me to say that his band has found a newfound resurgence of popularity and they have to go to Europe. And he couldn't sit in a back room and for very little money score this indie film. He had to go to like Germany. Poor guy.
My fan feed. I'm sorry. I have to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
My public.
Jacoby from Papa Roach just cut 2 seconds. Sorry.
I got to take this.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Tampa connection. I'm watching the film. I'm seeing it's very Florida, and then I do a little digging and realize you're all Florida. And I actually just recently watched this film. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's called Mermaid by Tyler Cornack.
No, but I want to very badly because
Yeah.
I've acted with the lead of that film. And when I
Johnny.
saw the trailer of it, yeah, Johnny and I actually made out in a movie called King Knight. And
Hell yeah.
hell yeah. And it's Johnny's a great, great guy. So when I saw that there's this Tampa Mermaid movie coming out and Johnny's the lead of it, yes, I need to see it. I have a 2-year-old, so all I watch right now is Moana, Zootopia, Miss Rachel, Peppa Pig, and Bluey. And it's really hurting my cinephile soul.
I get that. I talked to Josh Duhamel recently, and he was talking about raising his kid, and he did this film where there's a kid band that he goes to meet to try and like get them to play for the kid, and he depicted them as just these terrible, awful people. And I'm like, was that a little? And he was like, yeah. But Mermaid is a Florida story, but the worst parts of Florida. Where Hacked is a celebration of Florida. It's a celebration of Tampa culture. You're bringing in, local musicians. There's the love of the lightning. Tell me about crafting that and giving that to people.
So Chris and I have both traveled the world. Chris much more than me, and Florida is kind of the butt of the joke a lot of the times. And a lot of the films that come out of Florida are like Mutant Demon Alligator Guy #7. And
Best one of the series, by the way.
so good, so good. Like when that alligator ate the meth, oh, tears. But Chris, I don't know if you've had a similar thing, but I think it was when I knew I was going to become a dad, I started to have this awareness of like, you know what? I've always loved Tampa and I've always loved Florida. And sometimes you join in on the jokes. It's kind of fun to make fun of yourself and stuff. And I had been to Chicago, New York, and LA for 12 years. And I'm like, I think I could have a wonderful, enriched life raising my daughter where I grew up. And the thing about Tampa specifically that a lot of people don't quite grasp is that we get things done with kindness in our hearts and smiles because we're by the beach and we love our art in Tampa, and it's very difficult to have that approach when you're in LA, when you're in New York, when you're in Chicago, because it's such like a steel rip your knuckle business cutthroat. And when you're making things in Tampa, everyone wants to help and everyone does it with a smile, and it's a really beautiful thing, and it's incredibly fulfilling when you're on set to be surrounded with such like-minded people.
Yeah, I think the same could be said for Underoath. Because the music is very hard, is very, immediate. It speaks to people in their language, but it is made from a place of love and community. Would you think that would be accurate, Chris?
Yeah, I think that I think in general there's something that happens when you grow up in a place and when you get to a certain age, usually late teens, early 20s, you're like, I'm gonna leave this place, I gotta get out of here. Um, and then when you do that, in my experience anyway, you recognize that um those people are everywhere. Everybody's wanting to get out of Chicago. Everybody's wanting to get out of Nashville, New York, LA, whatever the thing is. And what I found is that there is just, Florida is the butt of the joke, but there is just such magic here if you look for it. And, there is something to be said about, you know, so many people come to vacation here and we kind of take for granted just living here. Like I was talking to my dad yesterday because he lives in like Northern California, and I was just like, "Oh, we're gonna run to the beach for dinner. I'll give you a call when we get back." And he was like, "Because the beach is like 10 minutes up the road, and me and my family just go and sit on the beach and eat dinner." And that has been a thing that has changed the way that I view Florida as a whole and Tampa specifically. As I've gotten older and connected with more local artists and being able to make things here, like being able to, I was on set for Breathing Happy for a little bit and being able to work with different sound professionals in the area. It is markedly different than it is, like Shane was saying, working in LA or working in Nashville. For me, there's just a different vibe in those places. It is a kind of a cutthroat thing. Whereas I feel like there's an element of working in Tampa where people are genuinely thankful for being able to work on things. But we do have just all these insane resources, insane filming locations, insane talent, and I think people are just starting to recognize it, which is cool.
Yeah. Let's go back to the crafting of the story. Shane, you invent your children for this
Mm-hmm.
film,
Yeah.
and they're such an integral part of the story. I mean, their online presence helps build the world and build it out and make it accessible for a lot of people who are watching this film. Where did that idea come from?
It was multi-layered. Number one is cheat a little bit because I've known those two actors, Owen and Collin, since they were children. Like I think I've known Owen since he was 7 or 8, and Collin since he was 9. And when I was crafting the story, I love those kids, and I've always known that I kind of wanted to build a movie around them. And I thought to myself, how do we make the movie more universal? If it's just a movie about people in their late 20s, early 30s trying to buy a house, you've kind of already cut out a whole teen market that I work with kids, and I love working with kids. It's the most fun thing in the world. And you can get away with more of like the silly nonsensical jokes if there are two children in there. So Um, we sadly Ralphie Rose passed a month ago, but we had two dogs, and so it was like, wait, what if our dogs are the boys? And what if when the parents get their actual literal money stolen, the kids get their intangible digital lives stolen? Well, now it's the whole family. And who could do that? A hacker. Genius. Done. Beautiful. Now it's the whole family coming together. Tale as old as time. A family is broken, and then through their murderous rage, they become a wholesome family again.
Right? These
Yeah.
past days torturing this man have brought us together as a family.
And
That was an
Santa.
improvised line. By the way, Collin Thompson, like, I'm sure you guys have watched all of those behind the scenes of like Chris Pratt on Parks and Rec, and how the writers would be like, we hated Chris Pratt because he would improvise a line in the moment funnier than a team of writers could come up with for 2 weeks. And Colin did that a dozen times. So I kind of hate him for that.
Right?
Yeah.
In,
Yeah.
in the best way.
Yes. Yeah.
Fart. You gave such a good answer that I forgot my follow-up question. But actually, all right. So a film like this is only as good as its villain.
Yes.
How on earth did you find Chandler Riggs to be this deliciously evil fart monster?
So follow the tree here. So I was Katelyn Nacon's acting coach when, along with the gentleman named John D'Aquino, there's a school called John D'Aquino's Acting Studio in California, and Katelyn came in for Camp Hollywood, and myself and John coached her to get on The Walking Dead, and she now is on the #1 show on television. And when we would speak with her, how's the process? What is it like being on the biggest show on TV? At one point, she said the two kindest people on set were Chandler Riggs and Stephen Wen. That's not to say other people were unkind, but they kind of went out of their way to really help her. So then years go by, and Katelyn was a lead in Breathing Happy. And when I showed her the script saying, I had written, literally, the name is Kate, I wrote the role for her, and I'm like, we're looking for the bad guy. And she goes, I might be able to get Chandler to do it. And it's like, we don't really have the money and the yada yada. And she goes, well, let's make a pitch. And I had just watched Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle again. And do you guys remember when Neil Patrick Harris shows up out of nowhere in Harold and Kumar? And it's like, wait a minute, we all grew up watching this doctor, and now he's doing outrageous things in this movie that nobody expected. And the internet also was kind of like shitting on Carl Grimes' character. And I didn't like that, because he's like a really great young gentleman. And so sent him the script, I made a podcast because Chris told me to. He literally goes, if you want to get Chandler, you need to make a podcast of your script. Sit in your room, and how are the jokes going to land? How is everything? And that was the thing that ultimately convinced Chandler. He was like, well, the podcast really helped. The fact that Katelyn, and Katelyn is vouching for you. And then when he said, what made you think of me? I told him about Neil Patrick Harris. I'm like, you've never gotten to play a ridiculous comedic character. And I think this can be your Neil Patrick Harris equivalent of, no one is going to expect you to go so hard in the paint for this comedic role. And the only time I genuinely felt bad was when it was like day 5 of him in the torture chair. And we'd walk up to him and be like, hey, time to go back in the chair. And he's like, I know. And we have to put the fake puke on you again.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. And the blood and the, yeah, it's fine. It's cold. It's sticky. I'm good, man. I'm good. He deserves it.
It looked like a very wet set.
Very wet.
So podcast versus pitch deck. Where did that idea come from? That's genius. But I never would have put that together.
Wasn't there a friend of yours, Chris, that did a podcast of a
How did that come about? Oh,
100%
man.
your idea, because we were on the phone and you were like, I have a friend who did a podcast to pitch his
Yes.
Yeah, this is the filmmaker secrets people need.
Yeah, so if I'm completely frank, I don't remember who it was, but we were talking about that, and Shane was talking about how he wanted to pitch this thing, and I had heard a friend, oh, it's going to kill me that I can't remember who it was, but a friend of mine was saying that when he sat down and explained the script and went through it and was able to hit the timing and really was able to get into it, people got it and they were like, oh yeah. But then once it was on a written page, they were like, I don't get this, I don't get that. So he literally spent time just himself, like he had like a little fake score in it, and because he knew exactly how it needed to land. So I think he only ended up doing like the first act or something like that, just to get the tone across, and then have the script so that as the people were reading, they could get it. But I remember telling Shane, I was like, man, like if you because the way that Shane writes and the way that Shane edits is so unique. And if you like, even I remember when I was working on Breathing Happy, there were times when I was scoring it and before the edit was done, where I was like, I don't know what he's going for with this tone, or like how this is all going to go together, because there's so many disparate things and I'm getting just like snippets of it. And then when I saw it all come together, I was like, oh, you saw this whole picture from day one and now I am only just now getting it. So that was one of the main reasons I was like, you should try to get as much of the entire full picture across. And for me, I mean, I'm biased, but audibly is a great way to do that. Just being able to pop your headphones on and listen to a thing is, I think, generally much more effective than reading a written page. So
Yeah.
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 It's great. Two of my favorite jokes in the film. One, they get to the gated community and Katelyn says, "Good afternoon," and the guards immediately, "What's good about it?"
That was
I
such
stopped
good
the movie
delivery.
and laugh. And then when you had stand-ins in Santa's bar, and
Yep.
I stopped it because I was like, "Did I see that right?" And then it kept
Yep.
going, and then he goes to, "Hey, here's what we did," like very
Yep.
Lynchian. Tell me about like the fourth wall breaks. Like this is a very personal film that you are communicating directly
Hmm.
to the viewer. Like, where did that decision come to blur the lines between film and conversation?
Yes. Really good questions, by the way.
Thank you.
The
It's the cup.
No, oh, it is the cup. It is the cup. The reason to get like meta on top of meta and have so that's Augie Duke's husband, Michael, who happens to look kind of just like me, and then Katelyn Nacon's boyfriend Xavier, who's black and an MMA fighter, like doesn't look like me at all. We sat there going, what would be funny is if we just like sneak Michael into the movie for like six little sequences or like within a scene and then never acknowledge it. That would be funny. And then we're like, no, it'd be way funnier if we did acknowledge it and then we just leaned in. There's a phrase I came up with called chasing squirrels, where like if we're on set or if we're writing and we're coming up with something and somebody pitches an idea and you see 10 faces go, you gotta chase that squirrel. We'll figure it out. We'll make it work later. Like because I think it's when I was in Las Vegas doing the final pass of the script with Evan Zizimopoulos, who was our DP, and we were sitting with Owen and Collin as well, going line by line, making sure everything still made sense, that the script is airtight. And that's when we came up with the two major ideas of let's really lean into this like meta idea. And then we decided to have the family lose the house and go to a motel because we thought that would be like let's make it even darker for them.
Those scenes were great too. Like just
Yeah.
you really
Motel and guns.
yes,
Motel and guns.
Florida.
Florida. Why not? Why not?
Where did the decision come to bring in Santa Claus? The great Richard Riehle, he's fantastic, but Santa
It was
Claus?
amazing. The decision to bring in Santa Claus was okay. The hacker needs to be the worst person ever, and we need to hate him more than anything. So, who can he hack that is kindness incarnate? Who can he hack that's the greatest person of all time?
Dolly Parton was not available.
Dolly Parton was not available. So it came
Richard
down to
Riehle
like,
as Dolly Parton. Make it happen.
that would be good. Yeah. So then it was like, well, Should it be Santa Claus? Should it be Jesus? Should it be like, let's just try to pick of who is the greatest, and we landed on Santa Claus for obvious reasons. But I'm kind of, it's funny, I'm kind of getting a little blowback because like Breathing Happy is a Christmas movie, and by having Santa in what is supposed to be a Halloween movie, people are like, oh, there's Christmas again. And then when we were filming my third feature, we had this awareness because we filmed it in December in Ybor and in Tampa. And if you walk around exteriors in December in a city, everything is Christmas, like all the decor. And I'm like, do I keep accidentally making Christmas movies? Like, I need, what am I doing?
It works for Shane Black. Don't knock it.
Yeah, right. Why the hell not? Why not?
All right. I already went over, but I'm having a great time talking to you guys. I'm gonna ask one more question, then I'm gonna let you go.
Cool.
The end of the film, the person behind the camera points out that you weren't hacked, you were fished, and Dugan pulls his gun on him. Was that scripted? Was his reaction scripted?
Yeah,
Okay,
and that was
great.
that was our first. Yep, that was our
The
first
clip
assistant.
falling out also.
Yeah, our first assistant director, Emily Riehle, when we were doing like one of our final table reads afterwards, because one of the things that I say all the time is I want you guys to hold everything up to the light, exhaustively scrutinize the script. It's what I tell to my students. I'm like, there's way too many people that will write a script and go, this is mine, it's precious, do not judge it, do not critique it, this is what I want. No, I want everybody to attack it and look at it from multiple angles because I want to know where I'm wrong, or where I can have improvements. And she goes, you guys didn't get hacked. It was like a phishing scam, but more clever. Like they intercepted an email chain, but it was a phishing scam. It's not hack. And my wife, Emily, and I looked at each other like, you are totally right. We changed the movie to like fish like, and I'm like, we had already written the whole movie, and I'm like, no, that is hilarious. We have spent 2 years of our lives telling everybody how we got hacked, but we didn't. That is fucking hilarious. And that is what a normal person would do, is have this like awareness of it. Like we made a whole movie about it.
There's a fun alternate reality version of this movie where you guys are all wearing fish stuff, and there's a bunch of fish music, a bunch of fish music in it.
Trey Anastasio plays Santa.
Maybe that's the sequel. I do have an idea for a sequel if we get to do it. So like piggyback, the Nigerian prince, the sequel would be The Nigerian Prince. I would like Idris Elba to play the Nigerian prince, hacks all of Tampa. And the only way that we can try to take down the Nigerian prince is we have to break Chandler out of prison, and Chandler's now one of the good guys to take down the Nigerian prince. And it's like Florida versus Nigeria or something like that. That's the.
But the Nigerian prince's American contact is Dolly Parton.
Yes.
Yes. Bring it full circle.
Yep.
It's got legs. This idea has legs.
Got legs, baby.
Shane, thank you so much. Chris, thank you. Congratulations both on the film. It's fantastic. I love it. And thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Eric.
You guys have a good one.
All right, you as well.